Los pacientes mueven el mundo. Los pacientes, de hecho, deben estar unidos si queremos avanzar en la misma dirección. Y por esta razón, la Fundación lideran la implementación del Grupo de Trabajo de los Pacientes con Artrosis con una alianza entre las más importantes organizaciones de pacientes con enfermedades reumatológicas para trabajar juntos a nivel mundial con un enfoque especial en la artrosis. Vamos a dar paso a la siguiente mesa que va a moderar Nina Martínez, responsable del Departamento de Investigación, Desarrollo e Innovación de la Fundación OAFI. Además, trabaja en la implementación de programas de prevención y educación sanitaria para la gestión de la artrosis a nivel global y desde hace años el departamento ha impulsado colaboraciones internacionales como la OA Patients Force, que nos presentará hoy junto a algunos de sus miembros que tenemos el placer de tener estos días con nosotros en Barcelona. Ella nos los presentará, conversará con ellos. Además, también queremos puntualizar que esta mesa será en inglés y para ello disponéis de traducción simultánea. Si no los tenéis todavía, podéis pedirlos, pedir vuestros receptores en la entrada. ¿De acuerdo? Bueno, pues damos la bienvenida a Nina. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Un año más, Nina.
Gracias, Txe, por esta magnífica presentación. Bueno, buenos días a todos. Good morning, everyone. Vamos a cambiar el idioma, tal y como nos ha dicho Txe, a inglés. Welcome to this roundtable about the OA Patients Task Force. Today we are fortunate to have with us several of the presidents and key representatives from these organizations. So I want to welcome to the stage, please, Elsa Silva, also head of the Arthritis Core at the Portuguese League Against Rheumatism Diseases. Their vision is to reduce the global burden of the rheumatic and musculoskeletal diseases and to increase the quality of life of people affected by them. Also, we have here our colleague Steven, the president of the Arthritis Foundation from the United States. Since 1948, the Arthritis Foundation has led the fight to conquer arthritis, which now affects nearly 60 million adults and hundreds of thousands of children in the United States. And they are pursuing a cure for the America First cause of disability while championing the fight to conquer arthritis. And finally, we have Josep Vergés, the president of the OAFI Foundation and the AECOSAR, that is the Osteoporosis Association here in Spain. And we at OAFI and AECOSAR, we disseminate information and we also promote treatment, research, and education among our patients. So thank you for being here. And as you can see in the program, we have two people that couldn't be here with us today. In one hand, we have Maritza Quintero, that apologized for not being here with us. But we have a message from Oscar Rillo, that is the president of the Osteoarthritis Core at the Pan American League Against Rheumatism. So please show the video of Oscar. Okay.
Hola a todos, soy el doctor Oscar Luis Rillo, médico reumatólogo de Buenos Aires, Argentina, y coordinador del grupo de estudio Osteoartritis Panlar junto a la doctora Maritza Quintero de Venezuela. Quiero agradecer al doctor Josep Vergés, CEO de OAFI, el habernos invitado a participar de las Task Force que se desarrollarán desde el 22 de octubre del corriente año en Barcelona y darán comienzo a las actividades del 8º Congreso OAFI. Las Task Force están representadas por múltiples profesionales de diversas nacionalidades que se dedican a mejorar nuestra llegada a los pacientes y que ellos a su vez conozcan mucho más sobre la problemática de la osteoartritis, la patología articular más frecuente en el mundo. Considero que serán exitosas y están todos ustedes invitados. Muchas gracias.
So here we want to thank Oscar Rillo for this video and also thank Panlar for their commitment with the OA Patients Force. Also, due to personal problems, François Elliot from the French Association Against Rheumatism could not be able to be here with us also. So she also shared a video because she wanted to be here with us also today in a shorter form. So here is the message from François.
Thanks to President Josep Vergés and his team, Nina, Marco, Maria, Teresa, for inviting France with AFLAR. I am lucky enough to be invited to speak during this great event. Today, we are in this international meeting organized by OAFI to continue what Josep started with strength and with all of you. We know each other well now, and we are happy in France and in Europe and in the world and at the global level to work together. We remain concerned about improving the lives of patients living with a disease like osteoarthritis, but also rheumatic disease like osteoporosis and so on in Spain, France, and other countries, and their representative, whom I salute, Portugal, Austria, Italy, UK, Netherlands, etc. To involve stakeholders in the development of a patient-centered care ecosystem and also collaborate with OAFI to encourage progress in care and policy change that will transform the future of people living with osteoarthritis. The care pathway must move from an approach centered on the disease to an approach centered on the patients and their needs, particularly pain and, of course, disability. We are working with OAFI and countries around the world to make the voices of patients heard more in collaboration with, of course, healthcare professionals. A large part, and this is what we are doing here, consists of highlighting people living with this disease and raising awareness among the population about this subject, which affect more than millions of people in France, in Spain, and in the world. Together with OAFI and AFLA in France and the other country, to achieve this, we launched a large international survey together with a questionnaire for patients suffering from osteoarthritis. This survey has started well, and we are transmitting it with the sites of AFLA network, social networks. We are also launch information campaigns and advocate for policy change at national level and in our countries. As part of an awareness campaign, we collaborate together with OAFI and with patients, doctors, and stakeholders to engage policy makers and discuss and work to pass resolutions with the supports of science, patient experience, and policy. OAFI has a radio for patients is so good and sends a new online news online to patients. We also in France send news and make video and podcast. And yes, we think we can combine human support with digital tools and innovative device in order to offer support to each patient with the aim of improving health outcomes and quality of life. I am optimistic, Josep, because all stakeholders are beginning to see the importance of a more fluid and personalized care pathway. Our common goal is to offer patients new perspective and a better quality of life despite osteoarthritis. I thank Josep Vergés very much, and I thank you all, and I conclude with this beautiful sentence, much more than patience. Thank you very much.
So our warmest agreements for Francois. Thank you so much. As you can see, Francois and Oscar has explained a little bit what we are doing in the OAF Patients Force and also what is the OAF Patients Force. But I also want to talk about a little bit before going to our discussion with our panelists. So. Now, the OAF Patient Task Force is a global initiative that we started in 2017. We have different organizations worldwide, and we work together in order to advance in research, increase patient advocacy, and improve the quality of life of all our patients. We have here also the Fundación Arthritis from Belgium, Reuma Netherlands from the Netherlands, AMAR, that is the Italian organization, also Arthros Competence, that is the Austria one, the German one, and Arthros Forum, that is the Austria one. In these years, we have been promoting research, and we have been published 2 papers about one review about the quality of life of osteoarthritis patients, and then with this review, we performed a survey in 2019 to see what patients think and what are their perceptions and needs in order to raise awareness about their concerns. That's why, since we have new organizations that have get involved in the OAF Patients Task Force, this year we also wanted to promote the GoUp survey because we wanted to add more countries worldwide. Our objective is to assess the current situation of our patients, also to evaluate their quality of life and their opinions, and also to identify any difference with the study that we conducted several years ago. Also, in this survey, compared to the previous one, we also assessing the impact of the patient organization, because we wanted to know if we are helping you, our activities are making an impact in your life, and we wanted to assess also this concern. It's an online questionnaire with approximately 34 questions. It takes 10 minutes to complete, so I encourage all the patients being here to answer the questionnaire. It's also available in several languages like English, German, French, Portuguese, and Spanish. And you will find an informed consent that you will have to say yes or no before entering into the survey. And this informed consent and the survey has been reviewed by a data protection officer. And also, all your questions will be completely anonymous and will also be used for this research. You will see if you go online, this is our promotional material. You can scan the QR code to do the survey, and this is the Spanish version, since most of you are Spanish, so I encourage you to do the survey. You can also find this QR in our stands and also downstairs with our volunteers, so you can ask them to have this QR code and do it in your home or when you have time to do it. And also, here is my email and the telephone from OAFI. If you have any problems, you can reach me and ask whatever you want, and we will help you. So now we are going to start with our discussion today. And I wanted to ask Dr. Vergés, why is GoApps so essential for the patients, and why we have to do this kind of research for them?
Thank you, Nina. You did a good presentation.
Thank you.
I think it's very important that to know exactly what the patient thinks. Because I am a medical doctor too, but sometimes doctors, we think that the patient is doing well, or no, and it's not true. I mean, a patient has they think, and I think it's very important that patients can explain what they feel, how can improve, and that's the reason that, in fact, was the reason that we create OAFI, and it's very important because, and also the task force to work together. I think it's very important to have this information because we can make a publications, but at the same time, these publications and these reports can help to go to health authorities or to go to the societies to explain what the patient think. That is different that the doctors think, or it's different. I think this is very important, no? The participation of the patients in their life, in their quality of life, what they think, how can improve it, and this is very important, no? And this is sometimes is difficult. In our experience, Nina, we have more or less 30% of people, patients that have OA or osteoporosis that are very active. 30%, other 30% that can do something, and there are 30% they will do nothing. They are passive patients and impossible to change. But the 60% patients can do a lot of things. For instance, thanks to the patients, we stopped 3 years ago that the Minister of Health would like to be not reimbursed drugs. And patients go there, and the drugs continue to be reimbursed. No? I think this is very important. No? That's the reason that it's very important that you can participate, you can explain, you can say what you think, no? And this is mandatory. And I recommend that now, because as Nina said, we are doing a second project, the GoApps, and I recommend that please, because if we would like to change something, we need the information of patients. If we don't have information, we cannot change nothing. Sometimes people say, oh my God, it's bad, but they don't know nothing. Today, later you have the stand, you can go there and saying that it's very small questionnaire, and this questionnaire, imagine with United States, with Portugal, with all, we can have all this information, make a publication, and to explain to the doctors, nurses, health authorities, people in general, the same patients, no? You understand? Es muy importante después hacer esta encuesta, porque después esto nos ayudará a hacer cambios. Si no tenemos esta información, you don't have this information, it will be impossible.
Yeah, it's understanding your experience will help us to improve in your care, in conclusion. And Elsa, building in more or less what Josep said, how does this kind of a study have an impact, how do you think, in the scientific community and influence medical practices?
First, if you don't mind, I want to thanks to OAFI, the invitation to LPCDR. This is the Portuguese League against rheumatic diseases, and special to Dr. Vergés, because these meetings with patients are very important. I'm also a patient. I have axial osteoarthritis, and our participation is very important as patients in this kind of research. You need to have the idea we are all responsible on this type of investigation. We need to work together to have a common objective and to know what is the reality about the patient with osteoarthritis. It's very, very important. So your participation is crucial on this way. I don't know if I answer your question, but I want to state this idea of the importance about the patient and the participation on this type of research.
Yeah,
we need to know what is the reality of the perception of the patients to do the researches and to investigate it and to help them, and the patients also help the researchers about how to investigate it better, these problems.
Yeah,
we need all to participate.
I totally agree with you. This kind of research that is patient-centered can lead to better treatments, more personalized treatment, taking into account what the patient really needs and they want. So thank you, Elsa, for that. And also, in today's globalized world, Steven, how do you see the OA Patients Force making a global impact? That is one of our objectives. And what opportunities does globalization offer us to amplifying the voices of osteoarthritis patients?
Sure. Well, first of all, OAFI Patient Force is a wonderful group to come together globally to make sure that we can speak together around osteoarthritis. Each country has a little bit different feeling about osteoarthritis, so it's important that all of the voices around the world are included in the GOAP study, so we can make sure that we're meeting the needs of all osteoarthritis patients, and that each country can take back the data and utilize it in their own country, in their own language, using information that works for their healthcare system. But I think globalization is making sure that bringing together all these voices makes it much more powerful for the World Health Organization and other organizations to understand the severity of osteoarthritis. In the United States, we often say arthritis is not just your grandmother's arthritis. It affects all ages. It affects everyone at different stages of their life. And we need to make sure that we understand that severity and that the officials in every country understand that, so that funding can go for research as well as for awareness, and then, of course, for patient education as well. So coming together is so important, and OAFI's work to bring all of these organizations that have differing focuses together around one disease like osteoarthritis is so critical, and we would not be where we are without the OAFI voice bringing the patient force together.
Thank you, Steven. Yeah, we aim for a future where patients have a strong, meaningful voice. What do you think are the challenges that we are facing for advancing in patient-centered care and also to have amplifying their voices? What are the challenges we are facing? Josep, or yeah. Josep?
I'll really quickly, sure.
Yeah.
In regards to making sure, and Elsa said this yesterday in our patient force meeting, is making sure the patient understands and is empowered to be a partner with their healthcare provider is so critical. Making sure the patient realizes they have a voice and that the patient understands that they themselves know their body better than their physician knows their body, but the physician knows the medicine. So together you can make an empowered decision and a great partnership to treat the disease for you individually. Not every patient that comes in is the same, and doctors need to understand that by you telling them the story of how it is to live with your osteoarthritis, and also what kind of life you want to live. In the United States, we have a saying that we use at the Arthritis Foundation. We want patients with arthritis to say yes to more things and no to less things. Right now, we know arthritis takes away their quality of life, takes away their options, but we also know that there's things they still want to do. So having the doctor understand those things that you want to do with your life, and where you want to go and how you want to maybe reinvent yourself after losing some of the things you can't do anymore because of your arthritis is so critical, so the doctor can get you back to where you want to be by using either traditional treatment, alternative treatment, exercise, diet, however that is that the doctor can offer you support to get you to that life you want to live as well. Elsa.
Yes, these broad impacts provided by TCOPS is very important to evidence-based insights into patient experience. This evidence helps clinicians and researchers understand the disease behind clinical parameters and adjust treatment guidelines to better meet patient needs. So that's important, your participation. By revealing the high demand for non-drugs therapies, it influences development or more holistic patient-centered care and strategies. So the global perspective on disease management is very important because this diversity of participations, we have several countries' participation on these GOPs, it's over the world, offers a broad view of how different populations experience osteoarthritis and allows research to compare treatments, outcomes across regions, because each country has special needs. So it's a cultural problem that our individuality is very important. So we try to have a consensus with this research. We can, with GOPs, also compare treatment outcomes, and the insights from this comparison help tailor interventions and ensure that treatment are effective across different healthcare systems, because, as you know, we have some difference in our healthcare systems. In other sides, we can do a standardization of treatment guidelines. This is very important for healthcare professionals, and your collaboration is gold for us. So the finding of studies like GOPs promote the harmonization of treatment approaches by providing healthcare professionals with consistent evidence of that works for osteoarthritis management. We need also to know more about patient empowerment and advocacy. This is your paper, and the role of the patient on this is very important. And studies like GOPs emphasize the importance of patient voice in shaping research, new research and medical practice. By highlighting the patient priority, such as desire of non-surgical options, it empowers patients to take an active role in managing their health. You have this responsibility, managing your health. This shift can influence medical practice and prioritizing treatments that align with patient preference, leading to improved patient satisfaction and outcomes. On another way, this can promote influence on public health policies. If we work together, we can do this influence. So the dissemination of GOPs finds in international conference and influence public health discussion and policy making. So with this clear evidence of the impact of osteoarthritis on patients' quality of life, and policymakers are more likely to allocate resources, you know, the problem of the resources, toward prevention, education, and management programs, ensuring that osteoarthritis is recognized as a public priority. So this interdisciplinary organization, sorry, English is not my language mother, so I have some problems of diction.
Don't worry, we understand.
Well, GOPs like studies like GOPs encourage collaboration between researchers, clinicians, public health officials. The interdisciplinary nature of the studies helps integrate different perspectives. So you are very important here, okay? We need also this collaboration for translating research findings into actionable medical interventions and improving our patient care pathways. So
Thank
please
you, Elsa.
participate on this study.
Thank you, Elsa. As you can see,
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Stephen and Elsa. I completely agree. But there is another issues that are very important too, that to work together, I think is good. For example, yesterday, we have a meeting and exchanging information, no? Projects that we are doing in OAFI maybe could be useful in Portugal or maybe could use in the United States or the opposite, because Arthritis Foundation is the biggest, no? Can say, well, Josep, we are doing with this problem, this activity in the United States, how can not do in Spain or in France or in Portugal or in Belgium? That's, I think it's very important, no? Even there are differences between countries, but the essential issues are more or less the same. That means that it's very important today that the knowledge for the patients should be between other patients associations, you know, to have it, no? And one thing that I would like to explain in the last day, but I can explain now, is that OAFI, in 1 year and a half, in the January of 2026, we can have a school of patients, from osteoarthritis, from osteoporosis. This will be in Girona, in a small town that is Sant Aniol, Sant Esteve de Llémena. You know, the mayor, you know, they give to us, you know, a building with 1,000 meters and 6,100 meters to do activities for patients. That means that, and here we collaborate all the people in the world. You know, in Girona we have the school, the first school of patients in the world to teach patients, even to teach doctors, sometimes nurses and everything. That is, will be a revolutionary issue, and making knowledge together. I think this is very important because we don't forget that we will arrive to have 100 years old, but with good quality of life. And it's very important, the joints. The joints are very important because if you have problems for fracture or you have, you know, osteoarthritis, you have other diseases, hypertension, obesity, diabetes, etc. I think this is very important. That's the reason that it's very important to do these papers, these publications, but at the same time working together, thinking as a patient how can improve the quality of life. And this is, I think, will be a revolutionary issue, no? And I think for us, it's the only way to change, you know, these pathologies. Because when I started in OAFI 8 years ago, it was not any association of patients in osteoarthritis in Spain, any. It was 7 million people with OA and any association of patients, no? The most common disease, it was any association, because sometimes people think that you become older. Now we are changing this mentality with doctors, no? Sometimes, because you cannot say to a patient, you become older. So what does it mean you become older? You have a disease that is osteoarthritis, and you must take care, and you must help them, etc., etc. I think it's a very, you understand me, no? That we are thinking, no? That we are doing, no? And I think that the powerful is the patients. The national health system will be improved if the patients are well organized and the patients are well informed and the patients are empowering. That is the system. It's not any other possibility, in my opinion.
I want to emphasize all health care professional needs this patient help. Because sometimes we have physiotherapists and occupational therapists and sometimes nursings that need this help. I can give you an example. Almost the time people don't think about this is your paper on patient safety. When you go to a consultation, you need to be prepared for this medical consultation. Almost the time people forget it, the guide for medical prescription And sometimes have the problems about some exams that you did, like X-rays and actual one, magnetic resonance and others. And this is very important. You need to think. Doctor is important, but he have a problem. He have a software to control, to do the clinic registration, have 15, 20 minutes for each consultation. And if you don't prepare the information for this consultation, you can be in problem. And when you go out of the consultation, doctor, you remember, oh, I forget this and I forget this. And one strategy is good to have also a form to communicate with the doctor or nurses or therapists. And if you can have an email address is good for these problems. But your paper before consultation is very important, and after that also, because sometimes some problems you couldn't explain on the consultation time, and if you need an extra counsel, you need to do this. Okay?
Yeah, totally. Well, as you
This
can
is an
see,
example. We have many, but I think this is the reality for all.
yeah, it is. So as you can see, our focus is the patients, and without the help of doctors, professional administration, we cannot move forward. And now I want to know if there are any questions in the audience that you want to question our panelists. I don't know. No one wants to. Oh, yeah, we have one here. Ah, okay. Yeah. Ah.
I will talk for Robert because he has a voice recognize problem.
Yeah.
Do you have people that make the work more accessible for the people with osteoarthritis? Osteoarthritis.
Osteoarthritis.
I mean, they can't ask if you have a blind people as a patients or deaf people as a patients.
Yeah.
You want?
Yeah, if we have.
Yes, I have this problem too. Sorry.
Okay. If I understand well, he asked if we have blind people in our page. No. Can you repeat that? Sorry for that. Accessible communicate. No, accessible. Yeah. If not, I can read it. Okay. He's doing like a space that is accessible for people with reduced mobility, and he asked if we have people that makes the world more accessible for this kind of people that can also live with osteoarthritis. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your question.
Yes.
Good question. Good question. I don't know if you would like to answer.
Do you want to talk about space? I'll talk
yes,
about ease of use.
I recommend tomorrow, Nina, another table from that it will be 2 tables. We created one program. We have different programs, but tomorrow Nina can explain all the activities that we are doing. That are a lot. No? Oh, yeah. We have a program that is OAFI Space. OAFI Space is not a space from the space, no, it's a space looking in the universe, no? Vale? OAFI Space, we created this program because I mentioned at the beginning is that it was for me incredible that 12,100 fractures are in the bathroom in Spain. Repeat, 12,100 fractures in the bathroom because they don't have a good shower, no? Or
8.
And yes, and we created 5 years ago a program that we with architects and doctors to analyze and to think about that. And the project is a very interesting project. And we analyze, houses, apartments, hotels, and residents. And now the same, for example, will be at today or tomorrow, another place in Castellón that is Benicassin, that is a thalassoterapia hotel. No? And we analyze and we identify how many points, 350?
No, we have 400. 400 items that we see that are conflict in the spaces. That can be accessibility, or can also be, for example, I don't know how many of you has hand osteoarthritis. When you have to open the doors, it can be quite difficult sometimes because we have like very pretty design but not comfortable tools for opening the door. So we have identified these items and we go to the places to certify them that they are respectful with the joints and also with accessibility and with our pain and all the stuff.
And now we are hotels, your residents, and if they pass, because our level of exigence is too higher, because we are very exigent about that, if they pass, we can recommend with the stamp of OAFI. We can recommend this place in order that people could be there to avoid fractures, to avoid etc. etc. And this is very new, and also it's an open I&D because probably we are. In fact, the idea is that the place should be adapted to the person, and in fact, health authorities, they are thinking that each time people will be less time in the hospital. That means that we'll be at home. That means that we need to have that home in a good conditions. And that is this program,
Yeah, I'll just applaud OAFI for their OAFI Space program because it will really revolutionize how buildings are being built. That will help with accessibility, but also in regards to safety as well, and just accessibility for those that have osteoarthritis to be able to utilize the space correctly. Now, in the United States, we have a different program called Ease of Use, and our Ease of Use program certifies everyday products that patients need to use to live their everyday life, and we put them through a certification program where they go through a testing, both scientific, engineering, and then patient testing to make sure that they're easier to use. So we have endorsed and certified products like opening bottle caps on medicine. We have Voltaren, for example. The flip cap on Voltaren is ease of use certified. That's easier to use than other caps. An injectable for certain medications is also certified. We also have everyday use, such as sheets for beds that are easier to put on when you have dexterity issues with your hands. We also have garden hoses that are certified, that are easy to press when you're trying to water your garden. Many products are endorsed, and they're all on our website on our arthritis.org ease of use program, and you can see the hundreds of products that are already endorsed, and then we continue to get more applications to certify more products, which goes hand in hand with OAFI Space, which will be in conversations with OAFI about how we might be able to adapt that for the United States as well. But I applaud OAFI's work in doing the OAFI Space program.
Thank you so much, Steven. I think we have a last question from the audience, so please go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And I'm Gudla Petersen from Grünenthal, Global Patient Engagement Lead. I know it's on the agenda in the next session to talk about AI technologies. I would like to use the chance also to ask you, what is your experiences using AI technology in gaining better insights, like doing social listening, looking forward what patients are talking about? So I think this is more and more common. And the second one is also questions how to use the technology to provide better support, better diagnosis, better treatment, monitoring of the patients.
Great question on artificial intelligence. I think it's so critical to be ahead of the trend, especially in arthritis, to make sure your great comment you said about listening trends. So I can talk about that, and maybe Josep will talk a little bit about science. But listening trends, oftentimes patients aren't really honest sometimes with us or even with their healthcare providers around living with the disease. But online, in chat rooms and in various conversations online, they are very honest. And so using AI to do a listening trend among all the chat rooms will really come out with some great science in regards to what patients are really saying about living with this disease, what they're sharing with each other, what their pain points are for living with arthritis, and that could also help in regards to delivering better patient education, patient support, and ultimately science as well. So AI in the chats, in the trending conversation side is very, very important. There's a lot of work being done in the science side, and if you want to hit, I thought Josep could hit that as well.
I know, I agree with you. I don't know if you would like to answer something about this question.
Well, this is a common problem of each country. Maybe OAFI is in advance with us, but it's very important. And the management of the risk, it's very, very important for osteoarthritis problems. But it's a common problem. We need to work together.
Yes. It's a good question. I completely agree that you say yes, Steven. And I think it will be a challenge for us in the next month and years to working in this direction. I think it's very important.
Very.
So we came to the end. Thank you to our wonderful panelists for this insightful discussion. Today we have touched the importance of patient-centered studies as well as the power of global association. So thank you all for your participation and engagement. And also, please don't forget to answer our survey. You will find it outside and also in our webpage. So thank you again and enjoy the rest of the Congress. Thank you so much.